Has seen the return of the feel-good factor at the Valley. Tony Lockwood reports.
Back on familiar territory, Chris Powell was always a fan's favourite. The chance to manage at Charlton came earlier than expected, and the club's new manager is hoping to be given time to deliver success.
We've had the glory years, and I was fortunate enough to be part of that. But I think really we've got to be realistic where we are. It's great looking back and the nostalgia of it all under Alan Kirbishley and establishing ourselves in the Premier League. But we can't affect what's happened in the past.
Powell was a player coach at Leicester under Nigel Pearson. He then worked alongside Paulo Sousa during his short stint in charge, and finally Sven-Göran Eriksson. He's now coming to terms with the demands of football management.
My phone just doesn't stop ringing. Obviously it's January, so everyone wants to sell me the new Lionel Messi. People just want to have a piece of your time, and I think you have to manage that. I think that's important. I'm trying to manage my time, and I would say once the window's out the way and everything's settled down, I think it'd be fine.
He made a winning start to his new career at the Valley with victory over Plymouth Argyle. It left Charlton just a point outside the playoffs, with Powell desperate to reverse the club's long-term decline.
Sometimes people forget there's a lot of staff and supporters that have been hurt by what's happened to the club. Lost a lot of good people that are not here anymore, that were here when I was here. And we've lost some support, but we want to get those back. We had a few back last week against Plymouth, and if they can stick with us, we might get a few more again.
You're too nice to be a football manager, aren't you?
Absolutely not. You have to manage your players in different ways. They're all different. We all have different personalities. And if I have to come down hard on one or two, don't worry about it. They'll know. They'll know.
New signing Bradley Wright-Phillips is in line to make his debut at Rochdale. His goal-scoring record at Plymouth prompted Charlton to recruit him, and Powell believes the player will have a positive effect.
Any team that's aspiring to move on up and do well, you need goal scorers. I think he's going to be very, very important for us moving forward. If we can get him the right service, I think he can score the goals to make us win games. And obviously moving on from that, that'll be points. And who knows where that may lead.
One of the big clubs in League One, of course, Charlton. You beat them earlier in the season, didn't you? 2-1, Brentford.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge club, and Chris has gone in there. I think it's a good appointment. You've got such an affiliation with the club. Bring the fans back, because, they were starting to struggle with that. Very good signing, first signing in Bradley Wright-Phillips, and a young lad, Nathan Nicholson from Liverpool. So he started off well, good winning against Plymouth at the weekend. So he's coming at a great time, January. It's a nightmare for managers.
Have you spoken to him?
I've spoken to him a couple of times, and I told him to turn his phone off every now and again. He phoned me back about 9:45 at night, and I said, "What are you doing?" But he'll learn, and he'll learn very quickly. But he's a good lad, and he's plenty of enthusiasm. That will rub off on the players, and the fans will see that as well, and hopefully that will kick-start them into a bit of a run, because it's a massive club.
It does look a natural fit, doesn't it? Chris Powell, manager of Charlton. His career says that as well. Not just for playing, which he did very, very well over a number of years. He also got 5 caps for England, didn't he? And he was chairman of the PFA for a long time.
I think Chris can be said as someone who's got the most out of what he's had. He probably admit he wasn't the most talented of player, but he's 100% committed to everything. He wants to learn all the time. He's had some good managers above him that he's learnt from, and some good players that he's played with. And he wants to learn, he wants to do better, and he wants to be the best that he can, and he always has been and tried to do that. So there's no reason why he can't do that in his managerial career. Yeah,
the monthly progress this season for Charlton has been like a wave, really, up and then down. Of course, costing Phil Parkinson his job, although he was manager of the month, Phil, in November, when they were second at that time.
Yeah, I mean, you got a feel for Phil that they were 5th when he got the sack, and only 3 points off the top two, and it's such a tight league, and it is very unpredictable. Everyone can beat everyone else, so it's a little bit harsh on Parky to go. But
new owners coming in.
It's new owners. It was possibly inevitable that they wanted to change things, and they usually do want to bring their own man in. And Chris has got the opportunity now of coming into a side of very well placed to get promotion.
And a win for Chris against Plymouth, 2-0. Scott Wagstaff gets the first one. Nathan Eccleston, you mentioned, gets the second one. He's on loan from Liverpool, so he's got something to work with, Chris, hasn't he?
Oh, definitely. There's some good players there. I mean, I went to watch their reserves on Tuesday at Spurs, and he's got some good talented players and some good young players coming through. Wagstaff has obviously come through the first team over the last couple of years and weighed in with a few goals now. He scored against us, and Eccleston didn't really hit off at Huddersfield last year when he was on loan, but he's been in the UEFA Cup team for Liverpool and done reasonably well, and got to Charlton, and that's a great start to his career there, and that will give him the confidence to go on and do better things.
Would you fancy them for top 6, top 2?
Well, it's so tight, but any of the big clubs up there, they've got the momentum. Signing players like Bradley Wright-Phillips and having Eccleston is always a bonus. When you're signing Bradley Wright-Phillips, who's got 13 goals for Plymouth this year, that's a major boost.
Including one against Charlton back in October. So, I mean, he could actually fire them towards promotion, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's proven in the Championship, and certainly at this level, he's very, very sharp, got great movement, he's got that instinct. All these goals prove that he can score different types of goals. His movement's terrific, he's sharp in the box, and he's a natural-born finisher, and they're not very easy to come by, certainly at our level. So that's a good signing for them.
You must look at these strikers coming into League One and think, blimey, where are they coming from? We can't afford all those.
I know, it's tough. It's tough. We're just glad Charlie Austin's gone to Burnley now.
So,
but it's a really tough league, really tough league with some big clubs. And but Charlton going to Rochdale tomorrow is not an easy one. Keith's done very well at Rochdale, and they've got a bit of momentum now. They had a little bit of a wobble, but he's got them playing well again. And obviously anyone can beat anyone else. So to get on a little bit of a run with so many games coming up in short space of time is important.
Mm-hmm.